Hi, I'm Cynthia, and I'm going to be talking about the benefits of tarot reading. I know it sounds strange, but bear with me. Wouldn't you like to know your future? Wouldn't it be nice to know what decision to make and how to get the best outcome in any situation? Imagine being able to make a decision based on every factor of a situation and how these factors come together. Most people think that tarot isn't real or that it's the Barnum effect, but when you think about it, you're in control of the reading and how you interpret the cards. That means you and your subconscious are controlling what the cards make you believe. Let's talk about a spread or an arrangement of cards to help in a major life decision. The Oswald Wirth spread, made and named after Oswald Wirth, obviously, in 1929, is designed to use the major arcana cards. It uses 5 cards in different positions to show what factors are affecting the decision and what the end result should be. The major arcana cards represent archetypes and certain personality traits. These cards are used to show what types of forces are working for and against the situation, what types of actions you should take, things like that, and the mindset you should have when going into this situation. In this spread, the main example that is used is of someone going to court for a crime. The spread uses 5 cards in the shape of a cross, and each card represents a facet of the situation that should be taken into account to come to some end result or a favorable outcome. The first card, placed on the left, shows that the conditions that are in favor of the situation, or like the pros. The situation, or I'm sorry, the interpretation of this card will show what qualities are going to assist in the situation. The second card, placed on the right, shows the opposite of that, the conditions that are against the situation or the cons to the pros. The interpretation of this card will show what qualities are going to work against the situation and work against you in this situation, or what the bad things are that are going to come from it. The third card, placed above the others, is referred to as the judge. This card weighs the pros and cons and makes a decision on the action for the situation. So, in our interpretation, the card will show us what actions we have to take in this situation. The fourth card, placed on the bottom, is known as the sentence. This card shows us what the result of the situation will be. However, this card has to be weighed against the other 4 cards in the spread to get an accurate idea of what to come. You can't just skip to the end, essentially, and read the end situation. The fifth card is placed in the center. It's determined by adding the numbers that are assigned to each other card and reducing it to 22 or less. 22 is the number of major arcana cards in a deck. This card shows the combination of the 5 cards and what is most important in the situation as a whole. In our example, I drew some cards, and this is what we came up with. The first card is the Emperor. This card represents authority, structure, a solid foundation. A lot of people equate this card to like a father figure or someone who exhibits those type of qualities. The second card is the Moon. This card represents fear and anxiety, insecurity, and our subconscious, essentially. This card is the embodiment of all of our fears and subconscious anxieties that keep us from making good decisions and keep us from going for the things we want. The third card is the Priestess. This card is very similar to the Moon in that it represents the subconscious. However, it also represents like a higher power, mysteriousness, intuition. And this card urges us to follow our gut instincts. The fourth card is Temperance. This card's meaning is, it's fairly obvious. It represents balance, meaning, purpose, moderation. This card is easy to follow as an action card, and it will tell us exactly what to do in a given situation. Fifth card is dependent on the other 4. Each of the other cards reduced by 22, as we said before. Each of these, when you add that up, adds to 9. That card is Strength. It's another obvious one. Obviously, strength, patience, control, compassion is another one. Together, these cards show us that in our situation, it would behoove us to take control of the situation and be responsible, and that the situation will go awry if we let our insecurities get the better of us. It's vitally important to have strength in the situation, and if we follow our instincts, we'll come out better with a balance of the good and the bad. Each interpretation of the cards can be different, though. Maybe your interpretation is that you should surrender to a higher power and let someone else take control. Or maybe you decide that the cards, the compromise isn't good enough and you want something better, so you decide to go against the cards and do something else. Many people cite this as the reason tarot isn't real or that it's unreliable, but it's just further proof that the person interpreting the cards controls the meaning. You'll interpret the cards as your personality and experiences dictate, and that will lead you to take action based on your interpretation. So you get out of it what you put into it. The Barnum effect may apply here, but does it really matter? I mean, if you control the interpretation of the cards, then your subconscious is telling you what the right decision is. And you're only using the cards as a vehicle for these thoughts to come to the surface. Tarot is a way to read your subconscious and reach the thoughts that are normally out of range to you. Using these cards, you may find decisions easier to make and the courage to make tough ones. This will ease the way for many situations and provide guidance for yourself that you may be more willing to take.